Blog Show. Blog Show.
Welcome to the Blog Show, sponsored by Senate Insurance. I'm your host, Jamie Mottram. This is your other host, Dan Steinberg. In honor of Halloween, dressed as Jim Tressel tonight.
That's right, and in honor of my costume, Jamie, we're going to be sending boxes full of cash to every blogger whose name we mention as we take you on a trip through the world of sports blogs.
First stop, the World Series. And I do like that sweater vest t-shirt, so let's keep it to t-shirts. The BarstoolSports.com Boston sports blog is selling World Series t-shirts labeled Got Rings, because the Yankees used to sell their Got Rings t-shirt. It was 26 to whatever the Red Sox have, but now this decade, this century even, the Red Sox are winning 2-0.
That's right. Congratulations to the Red Sox. I was actually in New England when they won the World Series. I was there covering the Redskins-Patriots game. I was staying in a hotel in Providence, though, and I kind of missed the excitement. It looks like there was a lot of excitement on the streets of Boston. One guy kind of ventured up this lamppost and dangled there for a while, and then finally decided why not drop into the crowd.
Before falling to his death, it was very dramatic.
That's right. He died?
No, actually, he was caught by the adoring faithful and held for all to see, but, you know, you couldn't really tell.
Well, that's good. We saw that video on Fan House. And speaking of Fan House, you know, one season ends. We're all a little bit sad to see baseball go, but another season begins. The NBA season is starting today. I'm very excited. I have something to blog about at long last.
And it's where amazing happens.
Where amazing happens, the NBA's new ad campaign. And I guess a lot of bloggers have been having fun with this. And one blogger, Miss Gossip from AOL's Fan House, decided to make kind of a send-up of the NBA's new campaign.
And Miss Gossip's not the only one having fun with the campaign. I did like the Drew Gooden ducktail there, by the way, where Next Dash happens. But also Gilbertology is having fun with it, doing his, Where Gilbert Happens campaign.
Where Swagfests happen.
Yeah, in the Wizards locker room.
Which is accurate.
And where Knowing Before the Crowd Does happens, which, was with his game-winning buzzer beaters.
That's right. And speaking of Gilbert, I think he's got the NBA's most famous blog right now, but competition is springing up left and right. We've already looked at Baron Davis's blog on Yardbarker, and now Carmelo Anthony also has a blog on Yardbarker.
Yeah, Scott Van Pelt style, Blog Show viewer says that Melo could, compete with Gilbert as the NBA's best blogger.
Straight from the source is what he promised.
Well, Melo's representing Baltimore and Gil is representing D.C., so battle of the Beltways once again.
That's right.
Let's move away from the NBA to the NFL. They went overseas and played over in London this week, and it's a different game over there. I mean, not the actual game, and not that the fans don't care, because I'm sure they do. One cared so much he streaked out onto the field.
That's right. Luckily, certain key parts of the body were covered, but mostly he was bare.
Well, yeah, his little buddy was covered in a red, white, and blue sock.
That's right.
And that was considerate. I mean, he's a huge fan of not just the NFL, but also the United States.
Right, and it turns out that the Redskins, I guess, were not the only NFL team to get exposed.
Yes, thank you kindly. World-famous streaker Mark Roberts was the man on the pitch right there. Now, we did mention that it is Halloween week. You're dressed as Jim Tressel. And I've got this theory about Halloween, that it's just an excuse for all girls who would normally, be a little mousy, per se, to dress up sexy time. They could dress up like a doctor, but a sexy doctor, or a librarian, but a sexy librarian. And there's nobody better to perpetuate this theory than NFL cheerleaders. Case in point, the Tennessee Titans cheerleaders all dressed up in different costumes for Halloween this week.
That's right. And I was actually, like I mentioned, I was at the Patriots game, and the Patriots cheerleaders, I think, were all dressed as schoolgirls, which
I saw that on Fox.
The fans seemed to like.
Unfortunately, no blogs seemed to grab that one, but I think it was Fan House that did create an NFL cheerleaders in costume gallery.
That's nice. That's very nice.
And elsewhere in the world of Halloween costumes, we've got some ideas for college football coaches. Wizard of Odds, the wizardofodds.blogspot.com this week did a separated at birth series between college football coaches and, various notables from around all walks of life. There's USC coach Pete Carroll and old-time crooner Burt Bacharach.
Crooner, nice word. Don't forget Lou Holtz, looking a little bit like Granny Clampett.
That was a good one, but the best one I thought was Judge Clarence Thomas and Mississippi State Bulldogs coach Sylvester Croom.
What about Mark Mangino?
Well, in Jabba the Hutt.
Jabba the Hutt, yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad that Mangino is going to dress like Jabba the Hutt rather than some of those NFL cheerleader outfits. That would
look good.
That would be a bit obscene.
Show a little leg.
And going back to cheerleaders really quickly, this is the late-breaking, blog show find before we came into the studio. Awful Announcing found this one. It's a cheerleader. They unfurl the banner for the teams to run through before the high school cheerleader. She's making like a last-minute adjustment when, unfortunately, she got trampled.
She looked like she got run over. That was in Washington State. We saw that on the news up in Washington State. And she was actually the homecoming princess, I believe.
It wasn't just on blogs?
Luckily, she was okay. I think she was just badly bruised and embarrassed, they said.
Well, we've gone through the week in blogging. Before we get to the YouTube of the week, I want to share the Blog Show product of the week. It's a portable urinal brought to us by the good friends at The Offside. We've seen beer bellies where you could sneak booze into the
I own
stadium.
a beer belly.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Impressive. Well, this is where you can sneak a road bag, I believe they're called.
That's right.
Just in case you don't want to get up from your seat and miss the action, you've got 0.7 liters of bag to fill up.
That's right. I don't know if you really need to sneak it in. I think it's a legal product. It's made in Austria.
Oh, you don't have to sneak it. You just carry it in. Like, look at my disposable urinal.
I don't see what's wrong with that. I've tried to find various ways to dispose of my urine in cars while I'm driving across the country, but this is
You want to just throw it out
fantastic.
the window?
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's
This was in honor of Euro 2008. We should mention the soccer tournament that's coming up.
Oh, this is old stuff.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, that does it for this week's Blog Show. Before you go, though, I want to play the YouTube clip of the week, and this one wasn't really on YouTube. It was created by our good friends at BurleySports.com, and they noted that people don't like Joe Buck too much, so this is their send-up of the Fox broadcaster.
He's a little too blasé, I think, is the complaint.
Buck to the future.
5 seconds to go, and the United States will hold on to clinch the silver medal. See if they can keep this momentum going next week against Finland. Goal. Cal returning the kick here. And he's got some room. Touchdown, Cal. And Armstrong is on the moon. We'll be right back. A dominant performance by Hydrogen, and it looks like Fire will hang on to defeat the human spirit.
Blog Show was brought to you by the good people at Senate Insurance.
Kiss my bumper. Just kiss it.